My name is Martha. After my husband died, I had no choice. I became a cleaner. It still feels strange to say that. I never thought this would be my life. But when you have two sons who look at you with hungry eyes, you stop thinking. You just do what you must. Ryan was 10. Noah was 8. Two little boys, both too young to understand what death really means. When their father, James, died in a car accident, everything in my world broke. I remember that night clearly. It was raining hard in Chicago. I was cooking dinner. The phone rang. When I heard the words accident and hospital, my knees went weak. By the time I reached there, he was gone. For a long time after that, I couldn't speak. I just sat on the bed, holding his shirt. The smell of him stayed for weeks, and then it disappeared too. At first, I thought his company would help us, but there was no insurance, no support, only bills, rent, school fees, food. I had no savings. James was the only one who earned. I stayed home, took care of the boys. Now the roles had changed. I looked for jobs everywhere. No one wanted a woman with no experience, no degree. Finally, I found one at a 5-star hotel. It wasn't much. Cleaning rooms, scrubbing floors, changing bed sheets. But it was something. The first day, my hands shook as I wore the uniform. It was too big for me. The supervisor, Mrs. Taylor, gave me a list of rooms and said, "Keep smiling. Guests like polite staff." I nodded, but I couldn't smile. I was scared. By the end of the day, my back was aching, my feet were burning, and my fingers were swollen. That night, when I came home, Ryan ran to me and hugged my legs. "Mom, you smell like soap," he said with a laugh. I smiled then, the first real smile since James died. Every morning, I woke up at 5 a.m. I cooked breakfast, packed school lunches, and left by 6:30. The hotel was a 45-minute bus ride away. In winter, my hands would freeze while waiting at the stop. At work, I moved from room to room, carrying towels and cleaning bottles. I learned to make beds fast, 5 minutes per room, no wrinkles. I learned to clean toilets without crying. Sometimes guests were kind, sometimes they weren't. Once a woman shouted at me because a towel had a small stain. I wanted to tell her that I hadn't eaten breakfast, that my hands were shaking from hunger, but I just said, I am sorry, ma'am, and fixed it. In the beginning, the boys didn't understand why I came home so late. They would wait near the window, watching for the bus lights. One night, Ryan asked, Mom, will you always clean other people's rooms? His question broke me. I looked at him and said, For now, yes, but one day you won't have to. That night, I cried in the bathroom so they wouldn't see. Life became a loop. Work, home, sleep. I forgot what weekends felt like. My body hurt all the time. Sometimes I would look at my hands, red, rough, covered in small cuts, and think, these don't look like a woman's hand anymore. The worst part wasn't the pain, it was the silence. When I scrubbed the floor, I thought of James, how he used to complain about his job, how he used to shout when dinner was late. He had a temper, yes, but he worked hard. I used to wish he'd spent more time with us. Now I would have given anything to hear him shout again. Years passed slowly. Ryan and Noah grew taller. They helped me with chores. Noah, the younger one, once said, Mom, when I grow up, I'll buy you a house and where you'll never have to clean again. I laughed, but tears filled my eyes. I didn't want them to feel sorry for me. I just wanted them to study, to become a good man, not like their father, not like the angry man he sometimes was, but stronger, gentler. One winter morning, I slipped on the hotel stairs. My knees hit the floor hard. The pain shot up my leg. The supervisor helped me up and asked, Do you need to see a doctor? I shook my head. I can't miss a day, I said. At night, I wrapped my knee with a towel and went to sleep. I didn't even have money for medicine. That night, I dreamed of James. He was standing in our old kitchen, smiling. For the first time, he didn't look angry. He just said, You are stronger than me, Martha. When I woke up, tears rolled down my cheeks. Years later, the boys finished school. They both worked part-time jobs, Ryan at a grocery store, Noah at a gas station. They would sometimes surprise me with small things, a flower, a new towel, a pair of shoes. Mom, you deserve nice things, Ryan would say. One evening, they sat me down. Ryan said, Mom, we have been saving. We want you to stop working at the hotel. I looked at them and smiled. Not yet. Let me help you through college first. They argued, but I didn't listen. I had spent too long depending on others. I didn't want to stop until I was sure my boys were safe. When I reached 50, my body began to give up. My hands trembled. My eyes got weak. I often dropped things. The manager noticed and said kindly, Martha, you have given us many years. Maybe it's time you rest. Rest? The words sounded like a dream. I thought about it for days. I had some savings now. Not much, but enough for a small start. I spoke to a friend from the hotel who was leaving too. Together, we decided to rent a small shop near our area. We started selling homemade cleaning products, soaps, floor cleaners, detergents, simple but ours. It was hard at first, but slowly people came. They liked our work, our honesty, and for the first time in years, I wasn't cleaning someone else's mess. I was building something of my own. Now, I am 55. Ryan works as a mechanic. Noah is studying engineering. They take care of me. Sometimes I still wake up early out of habit. I make tea, sit by the window, and watch the sun rise over Chicago. The light touches my small hands and I whisper, "You did it, Martha. You didn't give up." I still clean my own house. Old habits die hard, but now I do it with peace. I no longer cry in the bathroom. I no longer hide my hands. They are red and rough, yes, but they tell my story. A story of work, love, loss, and quiet strength. And when people ask me how I survived, I smile and say, I didn't have a choice. I had love, and sometimes that's all you need.